The 2021 New York Yankees were nothing short of weird. This team as a whole ranked as the 9th best team in the WRC Plus category and were the 2nd worst team in all of baseball in DRS. Not great. However, after an extremely slow start to the season, they were able to scrape 92 wins and claim the American League's final wildcard spot on the last day of the season. The craziest thing to me is that when you look up and down this roster, there were a ton of guys that straight up underperformed last season. Sure, there were a ton of bright spots, including Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton staying healthy for an entire season and mashing 70 plus home runs combined. Since Stanton was traded to the Yankees in 2018, we haven't really seen these two mash together, but this year we got both of them just hitting nukes time after time. Garrett Cole proved everyone wrong in the league once again, outside of the wildcard game, and showed the league that he's still a top 3 pitcher in this league, and some people will tell you that he deserved the AL Cy Young last year. Jonathan Loaisiga became a breakout star last year in New York, tallying a 2.17 ERA and 5 saves, cementing himself as like the full-time setup man. But that was pretty much it. This lineup was filled with disappointments and ultimately led to the downfall of the team last season. While I do believe that others will reiterate their 2021 struggles, there are 3 guys specifically that I think can bounce back in 2022 and will prove everyone wrong this upcoming season. With that being said, let's jump into 3 New York Yankees that will have bounce back seasons in 2022. And guys, before we get into that, do not forget to subscribe, leave a like, drop a comment down below. Which Yankee do you think is going to bounce back in 2022? And all the socials will be in the description down below as well. Number 1, Joey Gallo. Joey. I've been extremely critical of Gallo's performances ever since he touched down in the Bronx post-trade deadline last season. It has been no secret across our fan base that Gallo was straight up horrible with the Yankees. He struck out a whopping 38% of the time in pinstripes and slashed a horrendous 160, 303, 404 with a 98 WRC plus. Pretty average. There were times last year that Gallo couldn't buy a hit if the opportunity presented itself and became a dead hole in the lineup at times. Like I mentioned before, if you're familiar with my content, you guys know that I despised Gallo just a few short months ago. But now, I'm hopping onto the resurgence bandwagon. We have to face the facts when we're talking about Gallo. He's a 3 true outcome player. Either a strikeout, a walk, or a home run. He's also an A-grade defender and even won a Gold Glove last season, beating out Aaron Judge for the right field spot in the American League. He's got a cannon of an arm, decent range in the outfield, and he's versatile enough to the point where he can play all 3 outfield positions and can even fill in at first base if necessary. I don't think that there's any way in hell that Joey Gallo replicates his 2021 stretch with the Yankees. It's just not sustainable with the amount of talent this guy has. I'm not expecting him to put up a 290 batting average and hit 60 bombs, but if he can regain the form that he had in Texas, he will be a much improved player. With that short porch and right, that lefty swing should do him well in Yankee Stadium. Gallo's Zips projections for 2022 have him at a slash line of 205, 352, and 458, hitting 38 bombs and driving in 77 RBIs with a WRC plus of 133. If he replicates or outplays those numbers, Gallo's 2022 will be a success. Number 2, Gleyber Torres. Unlike Gallo, Torres played the entirety of the 2022 season with the Yankees, but struggled with his own issues. Following Didi Gregorius' departure, Gleyber took over the full-time shortstop role, but nearly 2 years later, it seems that the role just simply isn't for him. Torres slashed a mediocre 259, 331, 336 with a 94 WRC plus. Pretty disappointing from a guy that hit a massive 38 home runs just 3 years ago in 2019. In the past 2 seasons combined, the power has seemed to dwindle away as he's hit just 12 home runs in the last 2 seasons combined. However, the Yankees have apparently cracked the code to Gleyber's success. Play him at second base. During the back half of the season, Gleyber was moved back to second in an attempt to unlock something. Well, they figured it out as Torres slashed 300, 372, 443 with a 124 WRC plus, a clear improvement from his time at shortstop. He seems way more comfortable at second base. He isn't the focal point of the defense and flat out rakes while he's over there. With Isaiah Kiner-Falefa taking over the full-time duties at shortstop and the next guy on our list stepping back to his usual utility role, Gleyber should have success in 2022 as he attempts to bounce back. Not to mention, thus far in spring training, he is 8 for 19 with 4 home runs, so watch out. Number 3, DJ LeMahieu. DJ was brought on as a utility guy back in 2019 and wasn't even in the opening day starting lineup. Random fact of the day, you guys know who was in the 2019 opening day line for the Yankees? Troy Tulowitzki. Anyways, he became an instant fan favorite in New York and was nothing short of a hitting machine in his first 2 seasons with the Yankees. He provided Gold Glove defense, gave us a presence at the top of the Yankees lineup, and even won a batting title in the shortened 2020 season. 2021 brought LeMahieu back down to earth as his average dropped from 364 in the shortened shortened season to a measly 268 with an even 100 WRC+. He just didn't seem like himself whatsoever last year and strayed away from being the calming presence at the top of the Bombers' order. LeMahieu didn't even play in the Yankees' 6-2 loss in the AL wildcard game, as it was discovered that he was dealing with a sports hernia injury pretty much during the entirety of the season. It all makes sense now. DJ got the hernia taken care of in the offseason and has come into spring training fully healthy and seems ready to go in 2022. Seemingly taking over a utility role following Gleyber's inevitable move back to second base, the pressure will be off for DJ as he looks to get back into the swing of things. He can play third on Donaldson's days off, he can fill in at first or second when needed, and he can be the designated hitter. He should be much improved in 2022, and I'm very hopeful that he will replicate his 2022 form. The Yankees won 92 games last season despite these three key performers struggling during their run. The success of these three will be key to the team's success and could determine this team's fate during the 2022 season. Guys, if you are new here, like I said, do not forget to subscribe. Drop a like for me. It helps push this content out to everybody else. Do you guys think that somebody else should be on this list? Did I miss somebody that should be on this list? Aaron Hicks, Aroldis Chapman, somebody like that? Let me know in the comments down below, guys, and we'll see you next time.